All right. Welcome everyone to round 3 of Tier 1 in our ARC F1 League. I have our standings here. As of the last race, these are the official standings. We've got Action in first with 2 solid second place finishes in a row. Gore's in second, then X-Max in third, Ding Wu, followed by SoulCal in fifth, Van in sixth, Kaginis in seventh, Stewie 3K in eighth, Only Ryan ninth, Smithy in 10th, Wansari in 11th, Rickson in 12th, Ginger in 13th, Rogue in 14th, Marinkello in 15th, Vinny in 16th, Feline Phenom in 17th, followed by Rosefest, Aslan otherwise known as Kubi, and Ruda is in 20th. Tonight we are at Saudi Arabia at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. I am Hollers and I am joined by our F1 Tier 2 current leader. Let's talk golf. How are you doing tonight, Golf?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. As we've got cars coming out now, I'm going to get the telemetry and everything set up here. All right. Looking good there. So, let's see who came out first. It was an Alpha Tauri, so I think that's going to be Rogue. So let's go with Rogue. Got the twilight hours here for qualifying. There are 27 turns here at Saudi Arabia. As Rogue comes up to the first DRS zone in the Codemasters version of this track, this is not a DRS zone in the real-life version of this track. We're not sure why Codemasters decided to put a DRS zone there, especially one so short and one that goes into a fast banked corner. It doesn't really assist much. But this is the first of our back-to-back street circuits. We're here tonight in Saudi Arabia, and then next week we go to Monaco. So this is going to be a couple good weeks. Golf, what are you thinking in terms of safety cars this week?
Yeah, I think it's going to be high, especially the first. I think there will be a lap 1 safety car. I think there's just Tier 1 races hard, and there's not a lot of room between turns 1, 2, 3, and 4. And here we go as Rogue gets ready to start his lap.
Yeah, you want to take us through this? You've done this track. I have not run this track in this game.
So here he comes, big hard left. Turn 1's a tough left into a tough right-hand turn over turn 2. He hits it beautifully on the apex, perfect through there. He gets a good turn away, and that's turn 3. We're up to turn 4 here. Very tough section coming up. Beautiful through there, little deep, and that's going to cause some major trouble between 5, 6, 7, 8. And he didn't invalidate, but
wide.
He lost a ton of time. And now here's that DRS straight down into the hard banking turn of 13, I believe it is. Now out of 13, 14, tight little 15, 16, 17 here. Tough little turn, keeps it on track beautifully, hits it nicely.
Ooh.
And he's off to a couple. These are considered turns, but into a tough section here. Tough, quick break. Got to make a hard left and then get on the gas as early as possible. One thing about the track limits here is there are some. You're allowed the curbs on many of the turns here, and here's the last turn. Really got to go slow through it and then accelerate out. He kind of ran a little deep there, but probably looking at a 128, 129?
127.9.
127.9.
As Gore comes across second, and he beats him by about 9 hundredths. And then who's behind him? It looks like we got the other Haas of Aslan Kubi, and he sets a 131.5. That was invalid. Action just finished. Let's see, we're coming fast and quick here now. Wansari is invalid. I think I just saw Marinkello go by on mediums. Let's follow on with him. See how the mediums do here. Speaking of tires, what is the tire strat here?
It should be a one-stop. We're probably gonna have safety cars, so it won't be a one-stop. But the one-stop is the fastest, and soft mediums, medium soft, whatever you prefer. It's going to be tough to qualify with those mediums in the top 10. So that will be interested to see if anybody can get it up there in the top 10 with the mediums. Seems like a lot of people. Max invalidated with his mediums. Marinkello.
Yeah, looks like a lot of
people
are on
string of lot of traffic.
In laps here. There's a ton of traffic.
Marinkello, unfortunate for Marinkello. I think he got held up on his medium lap. He was actually on a decent time, but
yeah, it looked like he was charging up at one point too, so I moved off of him. Let's see. Feline Phenom, I think she's still going for a fast lap.
Yeah, did she go for a second one?
Yeah, she's still discharging at least as she comes through. She's going to set probably 130, 1.6. Good enough for P10 on the mediums, but I think that's going to tumble down real quick. So let's see. It looks like everyone's either on in laps or in the pits. As Kaginis and Juan Saria both come out for out laps. Kaginis lets Juan Saria by, so let's go on.
You got Wuda's about to finish here. He's looking.
Is he going for another one?
128.9.
Okay.
So E8.
It's pretty good for used softs. How bad is the tire deg here?
It's not too bad, but because of the walls being so close on a lot of these turns, as your tires degrade, you are susceptible to running into one of them. But it's an easy one stop without any issues. So, you can take the softs, new softs, you could probably take 14 laps. After qualifying, we'd look at like 11 to 13. And then you only have, it's only a 25 lap race. So they are definitely, it is easy on your tires.
And everyone out in the Twitch world, I meant to ask this at the start, but I changed some of my mic settings to try to drown out some background noise. So if there's any issues with my mic on the stream, tell me in the chat, please. As Juan Saria is going to come out for his first, well, I think it's his second hot lap, but he hasn't set a time yet. He comes down to turn 1, braking pretty good there on the curbs. Looks like, I don't know if that Red Bull there
it shouldn't have affected him. It might have got him just by eye, but he was well inside him. Again, through this section, people getting very, very wide.
Yeah, and I know the
validate there, but
our FIA is going to be taking a close, hard look at all track limits this week, because for whatever reason in this the game's version of the track, unlike pretty much every other track in this game, it's super lenient on the track limits for some reason. Codemasters, I know, is aware of it. I looked into this earlier this week, and they said that everything is functioning as expected.
Pure Codemasters.
They said whenever their testers went off, they weren't gaining time more than their unpublished limits that they set for what they determined to be an abuse, gaining time.
I'm sorry,
they said
it was going to come across the line. Pretty good lap. But
it's going to be good enough for P11. I think Gore's going to try to go faster yet here. Not satisfied with 127.90. Wants to build himself a bigger gap to Rogue.
Down 300s going into this section, so let's see if he can pick up some time. That was a very nice turn through there. And
Or left
okay.
the session. Yeah, he must have gotten kicked. That's unfortunate. So let's see who action is on a hot lap. It looks like. So let's go on for him. Actually, he's a bit far back. But let's stay on with the action. Our current championship leader. He comes through turn 13, the fast banked corner.
He was up about 0.15, tenth and a half.
The onboard camera here, I think, is real nice. Gives you a sense of just how narrow, and how challenging this course is. You know, it's a street circuit, but it is by far the fastest street circuit on the calendar. I think the average speed is, at least per F1, was what, something like 170 miles an hour, and over
It was
70% full throttle or something like that. As the action's come into the end of his second hot lap.
Might get a little toe down the stretch here.
Yeah, from looks like a Haas in front of him. Yep, goes into the pits. And he's going to come in for a 128.6. It gets him up to P3, or 128.0, excuse me.
Yeah, almost a 6/10 improvement there. So found a lot of time in that second lap.
And Ginger here, currently in P4. He's about, it's like 400ths off of the action. He looks to went a little wide, but it didn't validate him there. We've got an Alpine here of Vans. Seen lots of yellow flags, but I think it's just people letting others through.
Yeah, it's very, very hard to like keep any speed when you're letting people through. You just have to. Oh,
Ginger goes fastest by about a tenth and a half. So I'm going to go on with Vans. I think he's getting ready to start a lap. He is our reigning champion. He's had a rough couple of first races.
He's out of gas. He's out of gas.
It says he set 0 laps. How is he out of gas already? Let's see. We've got, I think it's Marinkello going into the pits. We've got the Feline Phenom coming in for a soft lap. She improves by a little over a second and a half, but it's still P16 for her. So she's going to want to obviously go out for another lap. As Ruda, I believe, is on a hot lap.
Yeah. And 3.5 tenths up.
Yeah, so he'll improve. If he keeps that pace up, that'll get him P7.
Almost up to 7, yeah.
Yeah. So let's see if he can knock some more time off of it here.
Oh, I think he caught a piece of the. I don't know. It looked like he caught a piece of the wall.
But
that's what I mean. You can catch it so easy, but he does look like he's fine driving through this section. So
4 tenths faster, almost 5 tenths. And as we saw in real F1 last year, even with hitting the wall, except for with the last turn, the drivers can go very fast. You know, Max was on a double purple lap until coming through this exact turn, turn 27. He clipped the wall just a little too hard. So we'll see if Ruda can improve, even though he might have clipped the wall there a little bit, as he comes through for a 128.2 into P6.
Got all the way up to 6.
This Rogue is on, he's invalidated, but I think he might have, he's charging up. Looks like he could have enough fuel for another lap. Kubi down in P18 hasn't set a lap yet. Hasn't set a time yet, I should say.
This seems like an okay lap, though. When I picked him up, he was around the time you would like to see. Let's see if he can lock this corner up.
Nice late apex
really
there.
Good. Yeah.
That's a tough turn because it's a descending apex. You know, ends at a DRS Zone with 129.4, so that's good enough for 14th. Smithy still has not set a time yet. He's still in the pits, so I'm not sure if he's just going for a 1 lap special, as Rogue does come into the pits, so he's not going to try for another hot lap after invalidating. Let's see, we've got Dangwoo and Pavlov. Dangwoo just started his lap. Let's go with him. looking kind of slow there through the first complex, I thought.
Yeah, he ran a little deep, and it didn't allow him to make the turns. But this section really hooking it up nicely. This is what you want to see.
Doesn't run wide there, where a lot of people we've seen run wide, keeping it clean. Dangwoo was
traffic in front of him. Is that traffic or is that someone on
I think that's going to be traffic.
It's Marin Kello. He's on an outlap, so he got nicely out of the way for him.
Yeah. Dangwoo was doing quite well at Bahrain last week until he put the full wets on instead of the mediums after his first stop, and things just went from bad to worse for him after that. So Dangwoo's going to be looking to redeem himself in the McLaren.
He was able to recover a little bit, though. If I remember correctly, he was still got points, but yes, yeah. It was very unfortunate.
A late safety car saved his race. As he comes through turn 27, we'll see if he...
That'll be in the 127s. I was wrong again.
128.1. So it's good enough for P6. As I think Gore has rejoined. He's back on track. He's on a flyer, but he's going to run into some traffic here. Runs a little wide.
He's also down on his time.
So he's
only down. Them. He was positive. He needs to find time still.
Gotcha. So let's go with Only Rise. He's going to start a lap. I don't think Gore is going to improve. Only Rise are tier 3 reigning champ from last year. We no longer have a tier 3, but Only Rise he picked up a lot of pace there at the end of the season. As it looks like Gore did go slightly faster, but not good enough to get into P1, as Max pips him by about 300ths. So right now we've got the Aston Martin duo locking up the front row, as we've got the Alpine duo, I believe, one right behind each other. Vans is a little close to Only Rye, and I know the dirty air here is not fun, so hopefully they space that out a little more. This Only Rye sets a 31.0. He improves by about 900ths on his time. Coming around turn 13, looking pretty clean through there. The line through 13, I'm interested, is with a banked corner, do you just keep a constant radius, or do you go for a late apex on that? As it looks like Smithy might have crashed out Marin Kello. He gets a 5-place grid penalty. So FIA is going to have fun with that one. But back to turn 13 golf. As the driver here, what is the fastest line through there, with it being a bank corner?
I honestly don't know. I feel like you can take it two ways. You can go in sharp and let the banking help you come out of the turn, or what I've found is going a little deep, getting on the brakes late, straightening up, and getting out of the turn quicker. Both seem to be the same amount of time for me, but that is one place I actually struggle with. Oh, Ginger again making his lap.
127.6. Rogue is coming. He's starting his last lap. Let's see if he can. Oh, he just invalidated. So, and Gore's invalid. So he's going to come in. X-Max is
the action is up,
and he's invalid. Let's see. Everyone else, it looks like, is Dunlap's Guinness and P19. He's going slow.
NYK is 3/10 down, so he's not going to improve.
Yeah, and he's on old tires. I think that's pretty much everyone done then. They're either invalid, and I don't think there's going to be enough time. I know there's not enough time because we've got checkered flags next to people's names. So, an Only Rye. I think he's still deploying energy, so maybe he's trying to go faster yet.
Yeah, he
was.
He
didn't open his DRS flap.
2 seconds out, something like that.
Yeah, so it looks like everyone's done. So I think I'm going to call the grid here. We've got front row Aston Martin lockout with Ginger and X-Max. Ginger setting the pace by about just under 2/10, followed by Gore in P3, Rogan P4, the action in P5, Dangwoo in 6th, Ruda 7th, Nick 8, or NYK, I'm not sure how he pronounces it. Only Ryan 9th, Vans in 10th, Marinkello in 11th, SoCal Blazer in 12th, Pavlovable in 13th, QB in 14th, Rickson in 15th, Smithy in 16th, but he's going to take a 5-place grid penalty, so he'll start at the back. Juan Saria in 17th, Feline Phenom in 18th, Kickiness in 19th. And according to Discord, that 5-place grid penalty Smithy got, Marinkello was already disabled. His car was already dead on the track, and it gave Smithy a 5-place grid drop for hitting a car that couldn't go anywhere. Thank you, Codemasters. Wish drivers, if you can hear, there we go. We are fully retired. So we'll go through the grid one more time. Go through the top 10. We've got Ginger, X-Max, Gore, Rogue, Action, Dangwoo, Ruda, NYK, Only Rye, and Vans being your top 10. They're going to start on softs. Then 11th through 19th, we'll have the free choice. I'm assuming golf, starting in the mediums, is the way to go.
That would be my thought. Just you can run it a little longer and get yourself on the softs and be quicker. But with safety cars and people thinking that could happen, we could see people prove me wrong yet again.
As Torres says in chat, that Smithy's better off starting on the last grid slot than starting 16th. I think that might be true. This could be a very interesting start if the real F1 race is any indication.
Just typing in our telemetry names here.
Oh, good call. While we're waiting for the game to load, I want to mention our sponsor, Drs 61. Drs 61 does good analytics on YouTube as well as sim racing lessons. You can get a 25% discount by using the code Driver61ARC, I believe it is. If you wanted to get some lessons to go faster here. They do, I believe, F1. I think they might do ACC. I think they pretty much do everything. So give them a shout. Check them out. They were gracious enough to do for our Tier 3 drivers last season. I believe it was a free lesson for a bunch of us. So
that was really, really helpful.
Reward their generosity. Golf, I know you did it, and it seems to have helped you a lot as you're now at the front of Tier 2. So definitely worth a shot spending the money on some lessons. As we got the formation lap, they're keeping pretty well bunched. The Astons keep in touch with each other, not going too fast. On the telemetry golf, how are the leaders doing? I guess the top 10 doing on their used softs. Speaking of,
I got 10% and 9% on the Astons. Rogue is actually pretty good. Ruda's pretty good, and Only all at about 6%. So they're the lowest, but it's from 6 to 11%.
And speaking of the tires, everyone except for Pavlovable in places 11 through 19 are starting on the mediums. So Pavlovable is going to want to get around Marinkello and SoCal as quick as he can. Otherwise, he's going to burn those softs out real quick, and I don't think it's going to help him here. So let's go back to the position changes so we can get a sense of how everyone shakes out at the start. As they come around the last corner, Max backing the grid up a little bit for his teammate, but I think they're gonna, the AI is taking over. So
My prediction here is I think the Astons, I did some practice races with them. They've been very fast in the practice races. Ginger's had some trouble, but Max has been super, super fast with very little penalties. But if they can work together and kind of get away from the pack, and if you can get out of DRS, it's very beneficial to get out of DRS as quickly as possible.
As the camera angle it's going to give us is going to look from the back of the grid forward. This could actually be very beneficial. Hopefully they keep it clean at the start, but we will see. 3, 4, 5 lights on. Long time on the grid there. The lights are out and the way they go. This looks like Max got a slow start. He's getting swallowed up a little bit by Gore.
Oh, the two Williams, the Haas. Both Haas's and both Williams both got held up there back at the back.
Looks like, though, no major incidents. Let me see if I can see any wing damage. Oh, we got wing damage on SoCal. How's Juan doing? Juan's got a wing. And Kubi, punts. Punts Juan there a little bit. So that'll be interesting for the stewards to deal with. So
Juan and SoCal have major damage. Kubi has little damage. Oh, Ruda out?
No, he's just
Ruda
dropping
has
down
lost he has lost his front wing.
So, see, it looks like he lost it in turn 13. I see more carbon fiber. So no terminal damage to anyone, but quite a few bits of carbon fiber flying around. According to chat, J Games says Ruda and Maranello collided. As Ginger's already pulling out a big gap to his teammate. With this track being so fast, though, Golf, are the teammates going to want to work together to keep the second car in DRS to prevent Gore from overtaking on one of these DRS zones, or do you think just let Ginger go?
Especially early, Max has seemed faster than Ginger in race pace, so I would try to keep Max as close as possible and try to work together, maybe even switching them out on DRS straights to help with tires, but definitely work together to try to clear the second.
As Ruda gets a pit lane speeding penalty.
There goes.
I'm going to go onto Rogue's T-cam here. Looks like Rogue might have underfueled, banking on a safety car based on that yellow fuel symbol there in his telemetry. But Rogue is keeping touch with Gore pretty well, staying within about 4/10. So we won't have DRS this lap. They will go active at the start of the next lap. They won't have it on the main straight, but they'll have it right before turn 13. So we probably won't see much in the way of overtaking. As I say that, Nick is within 3/10 of Dangwu. Let's see if he can get a move done here. Coming into turn 27. This is where we saw the infamous rear end gate / brake check gate. Rogue is...
So the fuel, as you mentioned it before, Rogue with the telemetry, underfueled probably by a full lap. Smithy is looking for like 6 safety cars because he has minus 0.278 worth of fuel. So he really needs to hope for a safety car because that's a lot of underfuel. Juan Saria is in the pits, and he also has underfueled by a lap or so.
And speaking of Smithy, he gained 7 spots already. He's at P12. Feline Phenom, she gained 6 spots into P11, and Rickson gained 5. So there are big movers so far here at the start. Is that 2 stops already for Juan Saria?
No, he didn't pit. I guess he didn't realize he had wing damage.
Or the double stack.
So,
I want to do double stack there. As Rickson gets a corner cutting penalty, it looks like 3 seconds. As the field is starting to spread out, Nick, though, I think is the closest of anyone here, as he's within 3/10 of Dangwu. As they're coming up on DRS zone. I think he's going to get the move done, but he's going to have to go around the outside. As looks like he got the move done. Heading into turn 27, does Dangwu try to come back? He's going to take the inside line.
Dangwu got a good exit there, but I don't know if he can catch him.
He's going to have DRS, though. Actually, yes, they both have DRS, though.
Yeah. The action has fallen out of the top 4 DRS. But you've got 2 DRS trains, Ginger to Rogue, and then the action back to Only Rye.
Yep.
And then after that, it's very spread out.
Yeah.
You do have some people way at the back fighting for some positions with Marinkello, SoCal, and Wansaria.
It looks like the game is doing a pretty good job of policing the track limits. We've got a few drivers now who've gotten 3-second penalties. I know we were worried earlier in the week that as Vans, I think, lets Only Ride by. Maybe a little bit of teamwork going on here. As the Alpines are trying to stay in touch with Dangwu and the McLaren, but they're dropping time a little bit, it looks like. Because I think Dangwu's going to try to take that position back from Nick as we come here into the final DRS zone. As Nick runs very wide. And let's see, he's got the flap open. Let's see if he can get the move done. Closing quite quickly, but he's not going to have it enough to get the action. Let's see if he can get it done on the main straight here. He's less than 2/10 away. He's going to take the inside, and I think he's going to get it done before the corner. Action tries to peek up the inside to come back at him, but thinks better of it and tucks back in. It looks like the Action got, I think, the better exit from turn 2 there.
Yeah, if they were smart, it seems like Nick or NYK, he seems to have some pace, so if they can just let him maybe try to catch up to Rogue, Vans with a 3-second time penalty. Looks like Van and Only Guy are trying to do that, where they are actually trading off each lap. Just switching positions, staying inside each other's DRS, trying to get inside of Dangwu's DRS. But
they're able to get almost there, but they usually get into about the 1, in 100th or 1 and a few hundredths, but then fall back. It looks like through the back half of the course. So I think they might be set up more for speed rather than handling. Speaking of setups, do you think we're seeing a lot of variety in setups, or are most people going for low downforce, quick setups here?
It's tough to tell. I would think the low downforce is the way to go, but you do lose a lot in that first sector. And here comes Gore down the inside of Max into turn 1.
Let's see here. He outbreaks him. Got the inside line. He's got the move done. They're into turn 1. Did it cleanly, it looked like.
Yeah,
so it's going to
right
P2.
now on the back.
Oh, go ahead.
These top 4 are going to get a little racy. It looked like Gore got a little out of whack there, and has actually fallen out of DRS of Ginger.
What happened there? So Max is going to be looking to take that position back with DRS as they head into turn 13. Obviously, that DRS zone is not going to be enough to get it done.
Yeah, it seems like Gore may be running a quicker setup because he does seem to be having some trouble getting in and out of some of these tight turns. So it'll be interesting to see how this DRS goes on the back half straight here. If Max can... Gore actually got back into DRS.
Yeah. So he was able... he might not have kept it in the detection zone.
No, he didn't. Interesting. So, yeah. Here comes Max.
His wing is closed. Let's look at Max come up from behind him. As Max is going to not be able to, I don't think, get it done on the inside, but on this straight, I think he's going to get the move done very easily. They're both low on energy, but Max gets it done easily as Rogue looks to get in on the action too. As they go into turn 1. Good clean race there, and Rogue gets by. So Gore loses 2 spots in the length of a single straight as NYK, it looks like, is getting closer to the action. As I think Rickson and Feline Phenom are fighting as well.
Oh, Will picks up a penalty, so that's 6 people with track limit penalties in 7 laps.
Rogue is not showing a penalty on my telemetry. I've got Ginger, Gore, Vans, Rickson, and SoCal all with penalties. So I'm not saying you're wrong.
Interesting.
But our telemetries are showing different things. So
on the telemetry, on the actual telemetry, he does have 3 seconds.
Oh, there it goes. Now it is. A little bit of a delay. As Rogue is now looking to make a move potentially on Max here, right up under his. Ooh, I thought we were going to have a repeat of the real race there for a second. Rogue was real close on the tail of Max there. As Gore is dropping farther behind Rogue. I'm not sure if Gore's just making mistakes or.
Oh, this is an interesting. I think Ginger tried to let Max go through, and it's going to be tough. Ginger gives up the position, and I think is going to lose both positions to Gore also.
He's down to P4. His only right now gets a corner cutting penalty. So these penalties are coming quick and fast. So hopefully we in the FAA will not have to deal with this as much as we were worried we were going to have to. So Ginger, I think, is trying to come back at Gore. Let's see, so Ginger's got 25% energy. Gore, so I think what's happening here is Gore is harvesting energy. He's not deploying, because he was real low a couple of laps ago when he got overtaken twice on the main straight. So I think that's the difference in pace there. So he's not deploying energy and trying to harvest it back up. This track doesn't have many heavy braking zones, so I'd assume it's pretty hard to harvest.
I didn't find it too hard, but you also.
Because I think Rogue's going to go for P1 here. Let's go on to his T-cam here. He gets that done easy. He had 80% energy, whereas Max only had 20%. So Rogue is now our leader. But he's underfueled. We have not had a safety car yet. So at some point, if we don't get a safety car, he's going to have to lift and coast.
Based on the way he's driving, he will be fine.
Oh, as
hits,
Gore goes deep.
Or we don't got pits? No.
So yeah, we've got NYK, Ginger, and only Ryan in the pits. I assume Ginger had damage. I think he had some contact with Rogue in the last lap when Rogue took both of the Astons. As you see, Sector 3 yellow flags. Rickson is out.
Did he mess up the pit entry? Let's see, we got Pav coming through now.
Yeah, so we're right on board with Pavlovable. Let's see if we can get a sense of what happened to Rickson. His car might have already, it's already been removed. But yeah, I assume he plowed into the sharp edge of that pit entry barrier. So that's unfortunate for the Mercedes. Toto Wolff is probably back there throwing his Bose headset as Gore gets around Rogue for the lead.
Sorry we missed that. It must have been a bad turn or something. Or he's got damage. He might have damage.
He's dropping a lot of time. Let's see.
He has 40% on his right side of his front wing. Yeah,
he's missing an end plate. So he's dropping a lot of spots here. Not sure what happened. If anyone in the chat might know, any of the drivers or Rogue wants to let us know what happened.
Thank you, Taurus. Rogue's cat was getting ready.
Yep. So Rogue's cat last week, if you weren't here, shut off his computer with a lap and a half to go. And I believe he was in the lead. He ended up finishing P10 on track. There was a glitch that moved him down to 14th, but his P10 was reinstated by the FIA because it was determined to be a glitch.
Very harsh because he was in the lead. Cat turns it off. AI takes over. AI pits for him on the last lap.
For no reason. His tires had plenty of... He started on the hards, one stop. His tires had plenty of life. And yeah, so apparently now his cat has pulled the Tron and gotten himself into the computer to damage his car. Let's see. They're starting to spread out more.
Deng Wu has joined this DRS train up at the front.
Yeah, let's take a look though at as Vans gets a penalty.
That's 9 seconds now, I think.
But I'm going to pull up the penalty detail here, or excuse me, pit stops. So we can see here. So it looks like over half the grid has stopped at least once. The leaders through P5 have not stopped. I think Feline is the only one on mediums who started on mediums though. So she'll probably inherit P1 at some point, but that's not going to be net, as Deng Wu is trying to get on the action here. We've got a DRS train.
Net right now would be, so there goes Gore. Oh, Deng Wu.
What was that?
Saved it, but that was a last second dive from Deng Wu.
The action
so right now, NYK is ahead of Ginger. So he is... And Deng Wu is
but Ginger got
getting
damaged.
A new front wing. So NYK is Gore got out in front. No, sorry. NYK
VSC.
Now.
Sorry to interrupt. We've got a VSC.
Oh.
As the leaders, I think they're going to be too far away from the pits to benefit. But I see Feline, and is that Gore? No, that is going to be Pavlov.
Well, this is going to help.
Alpha, who does not come in. Only right pits.
On the hards.
Let's look at the tires. So leaders still have not stopped, and I think the VSC is probably going to end before they can get around. So yeah, this really helps out NYK and Ginger. And Vans and Deng Wu. They're on mediums, so they're going to look to go.
And we're back to racing.
Yep, VSC ends, so the leaders aren't able to benefit, unfortunately. Let's go back on with the action. He was making gains on Max, so he's going to be wanting to do that. And I believe DRS
fell out, I think, of DRS.
Yeah.
DRS is back up. Maybe it's not. No, it's disabled.
No one's. Yeah, so I think it's disabled for this lap.
Oh, that was bad.
Max is out, and it looks like he did the same thing Rickson might have done. Did the action pick up wing damage? No. So he's going to go on to the mediums. So I think action is looking like your net leader right now.
Yeah, it will be interesting. No, NYK is in front of him now. And Feline. Well, Feline. NYK just got past Feline.
Is he pit? Yeah, so I think NYK
Ginger is also ahead of the action.
Oh, that's interesting. Because Ginger, I believe, had damage.
Yeah, but I think with the...
Juan Saria picks up a corner cutting penalty. Let's look at the penalty situation.
So what I did see is Smithy, I think, got the bad bug for track limits. He came out of the pits, and I think he crossed the line. Or didn't, cross the line, but there's a weird bug that if you turn too quickly or something, you get a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. I think one of his was a corner cutting penalty. That could be
removed. Because he's got 8 seconds. So
and then he got a 3-second right after it. So,
is the action on fresh mediums is going to try to get around Feline on the used mediums. So let's see if the newer tires can outdo the old as it goes by. It looks like pretty easily coming into turn 27. So
here you've got Gore going into the pits. He's going to come out probably P6 behind Rogue, if I see that correctly.
Ruda gets another penalty.
So Gore's coming out of the pits now. He's going to sneak in front. He will be behind his teammate Feline.
Yeah.
In P5.
What's the gap? That'll be the question. So NYK and Ginger are fighting. Ginger might be able to recover the win here, thanks to that VSC. As he pulls up right behind NYK, DRS flap open, but that one is way too short. Let's see, Vans is coming up on Dangwoo. Let's move on there real quick as they go through turn 13. So he's not going to be able to get a move done any sooner than Ginger as they come up the end through sector 2.
So just a good turn here, and he should be able to pull the move into the next straight.
I believe their tires are the same age. Yep.
They are. So this should be a pretty simple move. Hopefully they get it done quickly, because the action is with another really good race is on fresh mediums, and has nobody in his DRS and is only 1.5 down.
And most importantly, does not have penalties.
No penalties.
So if he can keep it clean and he can keep it within 3 seconds, the action is looking set to win this one. Can he keep it within 3 seconds, though? I think it's going to be the biggest question mark, because we know Ginger has some pace here. Because he's down now 2.2 seconds. But Feline Phenom is trying to keep touch with Rogue on the old mediums. So for Feline, she started on the mediums. She's the only one who has not stopped yet. Assuming we don't get another safety car. And when do you think she's going to want to come in? We're coming up on 11 laps left to go in this race. We know that
it should be in the next lap. It should be in the next lap or so. The softs can easily go 10, and
as we see Rogue bounce off the wall, trying to line up a move on Gore, but I don't think he got any damage. No, he did not.
With another penalty. No, the softs, you'll get 8 good laps out of them. Towards the end of that stint, Rogue's got to move.
Yep, he gets by Gore to go into P4. He's got 6 seconds of penalties. Both he and Gore do. Dangwoo just picks up P6 from Feline Phenom. She's probably going to want to come in. Yep, she does come in. So she'll get 10 laps out of these softs. She'll be looking to fly.
Yeah, she should come out behind Smithy. We'll see. But Smithy is probably going to be in front of her. So that's 3 people she'll have to clear to then be able to use the... she might get in front of Smithy.
And I'm not sure what happened. NYK was keeping good touch with Ginger. Now he's fallen almost a second back. But the action is keeping within that 3 seconds of both of them. That's all he's got to do. He's just got to manage that gap, not get any penalties, and he gets the win. This Dangwoo is going to have...
Van.
Yeah. I think that's the closest battle besides Rogue and Gore. Looks like Gore got his spot back. Missed that one. They're going to come up on the DRS earlier, so let's go on board with them. Looks like they might be swapping DRS, maybe.
Yeah, maybe they're not fighting each other, and Marincello has retired. That's
wasn't he the one?
But
oh yeah, turn 13. But let's see, we've got SoCal coming up on. He's already gone though.
Yeah, that might have been a retirement on track, which we frown upon, but it did not cause any problems.
Do it in the pits, guys. Because Rogue was not able to get a move done. But Dangwoo still trying to get Vans here. Gets a good exit from turn 2. So we've got some lag though.
NYK is caught back up to Ginger. getting that DRS. You've got the action falling a little farther back. Go down through the list. Gore not really making any impression. Rogue's all over Gore. You got Vans, who's broken DRS for the time being, over Dangwoo in 7th. Pav in 8th. Feline in 9th, and only pulling up the last points position in 10th.
So Feline, did she come out? She came out ahead of Only Ray, correct?
Pretty much at the same. They were pretty much on top of each other. So I think she had to make a move on Only, but it did not take long.
Yeah, she's got much stickier tires as Rogue gets around Gore again. Pretty easily going into turn 27 on that DRS zone. The action is still staying within 3 seconds of Ginger. If he can do that for the next 10 laps, 8 laps, I guess it's 9 laps technically, like I said, he's going to win.
What happened in the Tier 2 race last week is that people started fighting, and it allowed myself to actually get back into DRS, which ultimately helped me win. So it'll be interesting to see if Ginger and NYK can try to work together maybe to keep this gap to the action.
As Gore goes real wide. Trying to keep up with Rogue. Sorry about that. Let's see.
No problem. Dangwoo picked up another penalty.
Yeah, so we've got quite a few people with significant amounts of penalties. Our 2 leaders both have 3 seconds. And then Rogue has 6, Gore has 6, Vance has 9, Dangwoo 6, Only Rai 3, Smithy 8, SoCal 3, Ruda 3, and Wansarya 9. But Wands will not affect his finishing position as it stands right now.
So let's pick up Feline, who's trying to make that impression. If she can and start to really move up, she can get inside some of these penalties. Inside some of these penalties. Right now, she's 16 seconds out on Dangwoo, who's got 6 seconds, so she's got to make up 10 in the last 8 laps.
Yep. Well,
it will be tough, but she's got to get past here.
Yeah, she has to get this move done here on this DRS straight with Only Rai right behind her. But the problem for Feline is she's out of battery, as it looks like Pavlovable is too. Kind of cuts off Only Rai there, but I think Only's going to get the move done because he's got significantly more battery. But Pavlovable's also got DRS. So we'll see. As they go 3 wide into turn 1. Oh! As Only Rai gets spun there.
That's unfortunate.
Unfortunate for him. Let's go back to the action. We'll call him our net leader.
And he has actually been caught, so he's giving Rogue and Gore both have DRS on him, but
they have 6 seconds.
Correct. So
it could be to his advantage to let Rogue buy him because the action is currently out of NYK's DRS. Maybe
that's a safety car, and that's
Only
going to be
tough. Let's see if we can see what happened.
I don't know what happened. There's no one there. It's in that tough section. Maybe he tried to cut the corner. 4 is the quick left. 5 is the bearing to the right there, and maybe he caught the inside curve. You got SoCal.
Yeah, see if he can see what happened. Oh, it looks like he was on the inside there. Looks like he just lost it. Only Rai says in the Discord that his controls just stopped working. So it sounds like his peripherals did him dirty. But now, looks like everyone from P1 through 7 comes in, and 14 and 15 come in. Does Pavlovable? I think everyone's got to come in at this point.
I think they got to. No reason not to. You're not going to gain any positions, any track. If we do the rundown again, we've got Ginger and NYK both with 3-second penalties. You've got the action with no penalties. And then 4 through 7, and it looks like Dangwoo pitted, and Pav and Feline did not.
interesting call from Pavlovable. Feline, I get. Her tire's only 3 laps old, so she doesn't gain much benefit. But Pavlovable, his
11 lap old mediums, 34%.
Amongst a sea of fresh softs, I don't think that's going to go well for Pav. But we also have an update from Max on his unfortunate pit entry. He said he tried to let his AI do the pit stop since he got a 5-second there in a practice race. And the AI just took it into the barrier.
So, if you haven't got fully into the pit area and you let your AI take over, it's going to try to put you back onto the track.
As Pav gets
Everyone knows now.
5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags.
Did he go past someone accidentally?
Yeah,
to
looks like
avoid.
Probably. Didn't hand a position back because we know that for failing to obey the delta, that's a drive-through.
Yeah. So he actually passed Rogue.
Yeah, I'm not
so
sure.
I don't know if Rogue had issues or if he just went past him and was like, okay, I'm not giving the position back. Be interesting to see.
As Ruda comes in from P14, he was on fresh mediums. Not sure what he's doing. He's retiring. Interesting call. With the cars all bunched up, he could have snagged some points potentially, especially with all his penalties. Or did he have? How many penalties did he have? Let's look again at our penalties situation.
No, I think he was a lap down. One Saria is in the queue of cars and is a lap down. So yeah. I think Ruda was also a lap down.
So Ginger, I don't know when he did this, he picked up another 3 seconds. So he's got 6 seconds. NYK has 3. Action has none. Gore has 6. Vans has 9. Pav 8. Rogue 6. Feline none. So as we were talking about before, she was, I think, 16 seconds adrift of right before that safety car. So she's going to get a big benefit here, I think. Dingwoo has 6 seconds. QB has 0. Smithy has 3. SoCal 3. Guinness 3. And then Wansari at 12. Is that... Oh, it was Ruda's car came back out after it retired, but it's now disappeared. If Guinness can pick up the pack, the safety car will come in this lap, so we'll go racing with 5 laps left. The name of the game for Action is just stay within 3 seconds of Nick, of NYK, and he'll pick up the victory. And that's, really, to win a championship, you don't have to win every race. You have to be consistent, finish well, and finish ahead of your rivals. We saw Vans do that last season in Tier 1. I believe he only won 1 race, but he finished consistently on or near the podium, whereas some of his rivals sometimes finished outside of the points. So
got it crashes. So this is big for the Action.
Another lap under the safety car. So he'll have to do 4 laps.
Will be the final.
Yeah.
This will be the final one.
Yep. So we'll go racing on lap 22. That'll give us 4 laps of racing. Let's see.
One thing to note, Smithy will probably not finish this race, unfortunately.
Oh, is he still...
He still has 1.3. Well, he might get it around. He's getting it down. But his fuel, everyone else's fuel is good.
Yep, Rogue's
no one else
indicator is white
issues.
now. So this safety car really helped him out. But Smithy's outside the points as it is right now, and he's got major penalties, so I don't know.
Well, he served his 5-second penalty for crossing, so he crossed the pit line exit like I thought.
Yeah.
I don't know what his 3-second was for. I think it was for multiple warnings, from what I quickly looked at. So you're looking at, that's only 3 seconds. I mean, you've got Van with 9, Gore with 6, Rogue with 6, Dangru with 6. So if he can make some moves, he could still get points, but he is currently fighting to get his fuel under control. He still needs to find a lap. A full lap of fuel he needs to find.
And
Good luck.
they can go into low fuel mode under the safety car, correct? Or excuse me, not in low fuel mode, but they can go into they can turn down their engine mode.
I don't know if you can in this game. I have actually never tried that.
I believe under the safety car you can, as we get confirmation the safety car comes in. I believe under VSCs and SCs you can change your engine map to fuel saver, basically.
So JA Games has confirmed that along with Tours, and this is something that I have just learned.
That was the word I was looking for. Thank you, Tours. Lean. I don't know why I was blanking on that. But anyway, the leaders are coming up to turn 27. If I'm the action, I don't try to be too aggressive. So let's see what happens here. So they're away, and I think we've got a clean safety. Oh, yellow flags in sector. Okay, now we're green fully through. I think that was just an incorrect message.
Rogue on Pav made the move and got it to stick, it looks like.
Yeah, and that's not surprising because Pav is on older tires, and Pav's fallen way back.
He actually lost 2 spots there. Feline also got passed, which is big for Feline.
I think she might be in line for a podium as it stands right now.
Yeah, if she can stick within a second, get DRS, and stay with it, she needs to pick up the pace a little bit after making that pass.
Yeah, as you say, that Feline is already dropped over a second behind Rogue. The Action and Gore and NYK are all racing. Frankly...
Oh, Gore. Oh. It says on my screen that Ginger is not here, but it looks like he is.
Yeah, he's the leader.
He's racing too fast to... he's desynced on my screen.
Lovely. As they come through for the start sector 3, and again, we won't have DRS this lap.
Hollers hit G to pull up the leader intervals.
Oh. Yeah. So we're on leader right now. So Ginger gets passed by Gore. And NYK is going to try to do it too. But as I was saying, we won't have DRS this lap either. It'll get activated the next lap. And they won't have it on the main straight. They'll have it on the following 2 DRS zones.
Rogue also made that move.
As the Action has fallen back to P5. But he's still
within 3 seconds of NYK.
Yeah. But just barely, as now the gaps are gone. Thank you, Codemasters. But Rogue is now by NYK, so we've got Gore followed by Rogue, followed by NYK, then the Action is in P4. Hopefully these intervals come back up. As Sin Black Fox, he says that Ginger left the session, so he must have gotten disconnected, and that explains why he's lost so much ground so quickly. His AI would have taken over.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was just desync because I saw the X above his screen, his name. But it looks like he's back. But yeah, it hurts because of how the AI is on 80, and 80 at this track on the AI is very bad.
And I think Ginger might be back.
Going for a move. Yeah, he is. Went for the move on the Action. They both gonna get DRS?
No, they won't have DRS on this straight. No. So the detection is before the finish line. But he does get the move done on the Action. And the Action is still within 3 seconds of the leader, but barely.
Pav retired in the pits. So you've got...
Ooh, as Ginger clips the wall at turn... I think that was turn 4 or turn 3.
He got 13 damage.
On his wing? Yep, so he's going to get understeer. Pretty much anything above 0% wing damage in this game is understeer city. I'm going to go to interval real quick. So the action is still within 3 seconds of NYK and 6 seconds. He's well within 6 and 9 seconds of Gore and Rogue, so he's still set to win this.
Currently, Feline is in third behind NYK.
Yeah,
if I'm doing my math correctly.
Got all these numbers here, and it can be kind of difficult to keep track of, as it looks like. So Gore's already broken Rogue's DRS. NYK though has DRS on Rogue, so he's going to be looking to get a move done here.
Yeah, bad exit out of the final corner there. I don't think he'll be able to do anything. Action actually has some movement on him.
But he's still got battery. This Kubi sets the fastest lap.
So I see if it holds these intervals hold, you've got the Action, NYK, Feline, and then possibly Kubi.
This will be an interesting
Gore would come in fourth.
Podium for sure. But we see Ginger's drop down to P8 as Dangwu picks up another corner cutting penalty. So Ginger's already down to P8. That's shows you how drastic the wing damage can be, even just a slight bit of it. The game shows he's still got his end plates, but it looks like he's lost a lot of downforce.
Rogue and NYK also have very small damage on their front wing.
But
to telemetry.
So they're coming up to the end of Sector 2, and the action is still well within the delta he needs. It still doesn't have any penalties. So I think the action's going to win this, barring something catastrophic here on the last real turn 27. As Rogue is out of battery, but I don't think NYK is going to have enough
the
distance.
Action, just wait. Don't do anything silly. Thank you.
He's going to go for the Valtteri Bottas here. He's going to try to get it done on track as he comes through. Yep, he does get P1. Actions are a winner. Followed by NYK, then Gore, Kubi, his name says Aslan though. Feline Phenom, she finishes 5th, followed by Rogue in 6th, Vans in 7th, Dangwu in 8th, Kaginis in 9th, Ginger drops all the way to 10th after getting wing damage and all the penalties. And then SoCal Blazer Smithy, is he out of fuel? He is out of fuel.
Smithy is out of fuel.
In P12, but he's going to keep P12 because I believe Wansari is a lap down.
Who's your driver of the day?
I've got to give it to the Action.
Yeah.
He's shown lots of consistency, keeping it clean, just managing his races very well. And I think if he can keep that up, I think he's my favorite to also win the championship.
Yeah, very solid drive and extends his lead in the Drivers' Championship. Gore did come in 3rd, so it won't be a huge advantage, but it's another 10 points to add on to his 3-point lead already. So great drive from him.
For sure. As they spray the bubbly, and I believe in Saudi Arabia it's rose water. I don't believe they can use alcohol there, just like the other Middle Eastern countries. But anyway, so we already went through the finishing order, but again, we've got the Action, NYK, and Gore are your podium finishers. I need to grab the incidents real quick because I'm sure there are going to be quite a few of them. Holy cow.
I am also getting the incidents. There's a lot of them.
Lots of warnings. I'm just going to get the pit stops too, so we know who served and who did not. All right. So, after Gore, we got Kubi in 4th, Feline in 5th, Rogue in 6th, 7th is Vans, Dangwu 8th, Kaginis 9th, Ginger in 10th. That's your points finishers. Thank you for joining us, everyone. See you again next week in Monaco. It was a pleasure commentating with you again, Golf. Good luck on Tuesday.
Thanks very much, and see you next week.
All right.